Welcome to The Explainer. You know, we spend so much time talking about finding our why at work, that big, inspiring purpose. But what if, for a huge number of people, that's completely the wrong way to think about it? What if the real glue that holds a team together is something, well, something much more primal?
So, let's start with a little trip to Google. They got obsessed with figuring out what made their best teams tick. And you know what they found? It wasn't about hiring a bunch of geniuses and putting them in a room. Nope. The magic was in how people worked together.
So naturally, they dug in. They interviewed hundreds of teams, they looked at all the data, all to crack the code on what these dynamics really were.
And here's what they came up with. These 5 things just kept popping up in all their top-performing teams. You've got psychological safety right at the top, which is huge. But look there at number 4, meaning. The idea that the work has to feel personally important to you.
And that just clicks, right? Of course, we all want to feel like our work isn't just a job, but that it actually matters. This idea basically became the gospel of modern management. But what if it's not the whole story? What if for some people, this whole quest for a clearly stated purpose is missing the point entirely?
Okay, now get ready for a twist. We're going to look at a piece of data that seems to completely contradict what Google found. It comes from a big global survey, looking at how our deep-seated values connect to what we want from a team.
All right, I know this just looks like a random number, but trust me, this little number is a huge clue. It's a statistically significant correlation, and it points to something really profound about how different people experience teamwork.
So, what's the big secret behind this number? Well, it reveals this fascinating tension between a very specific way of seeing the world and the modern idea of what makes a team great.
And here it is. This is the paradox. The data shows that the more strongly a person holds what are called purple values, the less likely they are to say that an articulated meaning or purpose is important for team success. It's a negative correlation. So, what on earth is purple?
To figure this out, we have to step into a different world for a second. Purple comes from a model of human development that maps out different value systems, and this one is one of the oldest.
At its core, the purple view world is all about the tribe. The number one priority is keeping the group safe and making sure it continues. So, meaning isn't some idea you find on a poster. It's baked right into the traditions and the family bonds of the tribe itself.
For someone with a purple worldview, these are the things that matter. Loyalty, family, ritual, knowing your place. Your purpose isn't something you go searching for. It is your role in the group. There's no need to talk about it because you just live it every single day.
And this, right here, is the heart of our whole explainer. It's this massive difference between a meaning that you declare versus a meaning that you simply live. You can see this split so clearly here. In our modern corporate world, we're obsessed with mission statements, with finding our personal why. But in the purple world, meaning isn't something you find, it's something you do. It's not a mission statement you read, it's a covenant, a sacred, unspoken bond that you honor through your actions.
Let me give you a real-world example. In the Hammer tribe, when a young man comes of age, he has to run across the backs of a line of bulls. The whole community comes out. They're not there to hear a speech about his personal purpose. They're there to witness and take part in a ritual.
Exactly. The act is the meaning. Just by doing it, he confirms he belongs. His success is his participation. The purpose doesn't need to be written down because everyone there is living it. They're embodying it together. It's just obvious. And you see this in the modern world too. Think about those super tight-knit teams, like a construction crew or a unit of firefighters. Their bond is built on shared jokes, on rituals, on an unspoken code that they have each other's backs. Their effectiveness comes from their loyalty to the group, not because they all memorize the project goals. Okay, so what's the point of all this? Well, if you're a leader of any kind, understanding this difference isn't just some interesting theory. It's absolutely critical. Here's the bottom line. The pain is, when you ask someone with strong purple values to write down their personal mission, you don't inspire them. You might actually alienate them. You're asking them to put a deep lived reality into what feels like corporate jargon. But the gain? When you get this, you realize you can build incredible teams through shared rituals and honoring that group identity, not just by talking about goals. So the big takeaway for leaders is to focus on this embodied belonging. For some teams, the real engine of success isn't the mission statement, it's the covenant. It's that weekly team lunch. It's the inside joke from that one crazy project. It's the unspoken promise that you'll always back each other up. That is where the real power is.
And that really leaves us with this one big question to chew on. Is meaning something we always have to write down and talk about? Or can it be a covenant that we just live out together? This data really pushes us to see that maybe our modern obsession with purpose is a bit of a blind spot. It reminds us that sometimes the strongest, most powerful glue for a team is silent. It's inherited, and it's simply understood without ever needing to be said.